Last speaker is a dear guest from Lebanon, معالي الوزير حسن دياب, وزير التربية والتعليم العالي في الجمهورية اللبنانية. أهلا وسهلا بك. ما بعرف أسألك سؤال ولا عندك كلمة تحب تلقيها؟ لأن عندنا أسئلة عديدة في مشتركات أيضا مع التجربة اللبنانية في مسائل كثيرة، ولكن أترك الحرية لمعاليك. تفضل.
روج باش
روج باش
بخير بن دور سوباس كاك هوشيار.
Sergio, we are making progress.
It is a great privilege to be here among such a distinguished group of politicians, practitioners, and academicians. I have thoroughly enjoyed these past 2 days. Thanks to His Excellency Barham Saleh for his kind invitation and for organizing with his team this unique forum. Although I attended similar events outside the region, however, as was mentioned by His Excellency, it is important that the venue of events that address regional challenges be in the region itself. Therefore, holding this forum under this theme in our region, in Iraq, and in Sulaimanyya at AUI is an achievement in its own right. My presentation will be on education as a tool to address regional challenges, with Lebanon as the case study, since Lebanon has many similar characteristics to Iraq. The best contribution any politician can make is in the provision of quality education for his people, and this is what His Excellency, in his unique vision, has achieved through establishing a non-profit, high-quality university. People in Lebanon still celebrate Daniel Bliss, founder of the American University of Beirut in 1866, and I am sure that the people of Sulaimanyya and Kurdistan region will celebrate your vision for many, many generations as founder of AUI. Our region is witnessing major challenges in terms of transition to globalization, which in turn has faced sectarian, religious, and ethnic difficulties due to the lack of the culture of coexistence and dialogue. As such, it is important to be able to navigate through these recurrent regional political tsunamis. For example, in Lebanon, we had to face the impossible task of managing over 1.5 million Syrians coming across our border at a time when Lebanon is facing political divisions, economic turmoil, security problems, among others. To minimize the growing pains of democracy and in light of the dynamically and rapidly changing world, political systems within our region need to be flexible in reviewing and updating their laws and constitutions to meet the aspirations of its people. The only way forward to address many of our regional difficulties is through dialogue and respect by all, for all. Former Pope John Paul II said when he visited Lebanon many years ago that Lebanon is not only a country, it is also a message. Indeed, it is a message to the world. With over 18 different confessions from different religions and various ethnicities, Lebanon represents a unique social mosaic. Therefore, failure of Lebanon, of the Lebanese model, is not only a failure for Lebanon, but also the region and the whole world. Of course, Lebanon's success gives hope to the region and the world. People of this region want a better life and strive to improve the lives of their children, and this is their right. No doubt, good education plays a pivotal role in achieving this objective. You may know that the motto of AUB, where I am Vice President, that they may have life and live it more abundantly. Some of the regional challenges mentioned in this forum include inclusive identity, governance, economic aspects. I would also like to add 2 more challenges. Cultural diplomacy. The challenge here is to overcome sectarian and ethnic borders to lead to an environment that is enriching to all rather than confrontational, as His Excellency the Ambassador has just mentioned. Regional political systems should produce a new common vision for the countries that promote peace and tolerance among its people. Soft diplomacy should always be the way to solve our regional challenges. The other challenge I would add would be equality. Similar to existing quotas based on sectarian and religious factors, for true democracy, there should also be similar quotas for enhancing the role of women and youth in our political systems. It is our duty to listen to the dreams and aspirations of our youth as they represent the future of our region. Our ultimate and sustainable wealth in the region is not oil. It is not gas. It is not our natural resources, although all of these are multipliers, economic multipliers, as was mentioned before. Ladies and gentlemen, our true wealth is our youth that represent the future of this region. The solution for most of the problems facing our region lies in education. Education is not only basic education and higher education, but also lifelong education. Our educational systems should produce global citizens who can adapt to the dynamically changing world. Graduates that acquire 21st century skills and that are not only proficient in their area of specialization, that represent their depth of knowledge in the subject matter of their major, but also breadth of knowledge that equips students not only with communication skills and languages, but also tolerance and respect and appreciation of other cultures, among many other necessary skills in today's complex world. I ask, how many of the over 800 universities in our region are doing that? Ministries of education, higher education, and vocational and technical education have the moral responsibility to integrate changes into our educational systems within the region to promote interreligious and intercultural respect and dialogue. I say those who have the knowledge and power to make a change have the responsibility to act. I'll give you an example. An event was held in Jordan for ministers of education in the region to address the Arabic language weaknesses of high school graduates in the region. Believe it or not, I was the only minister to attend. During my tenure as Minister of Education and Higher Education for almost 3 years, the ministry accomplished many achievements in the form of hundreds of ministerial decisions, decrees, and laws. This included many new initiatives for the first time, such as introducing entrepreneurial teaching in our basic educational curricula, a new law for compulsory education, compulsory community service in high school education, a new strategic plan for ICT use in education, a law to create a National Council on Quality Assurance for Higher Education, and so on and so forth. This is the book of the achievements of the Ministry of Education and Higher Education. That's why I didn't spend time in the media. I was busy writing this book, which is out a week ago. So when I'm asked, what did you do in the 3 years, I give them a copy of this book. I will mention only 2 achievements assessed by international bodies, and not by Lebanon. The first, in a recent report of the World Economic Forum, which ranks 144 countries in various sectors. The report said Lebanon received the following excellent ranking in higher education. 1, quality of business schools, ranked 13 out of 144. 2, quality of educational system, 10 out of 144. And quality of teaching math and science, number 4 out of 144, preceded only by Singapore, Finland, and Belgium. This is not our evaluation. This is the World Economic Forum. Another achievement, which I received 2 weeks ago in the form of a letter, indicating that as a result of the ministry actively encouraging the innovative use of mobile technologies that deliver long-term and sustainable socio-economic benefit and well-being for their citizens, Lebanon was judged for the first time the winner of the GSMA 2014 Connected Government Award. Of course, the conditions in Lebanon over the past 3 years were very comfortable with the political divisions, and the environment was very serene with the security situation, not to mention the educational tsunami that represented by Syrian students increasing admission in the public school system by a sudden 70%. Also, being a technocrat minister in a political cabinet did not make my life any easier. This goes to show where there's a will, there's a way. On a different note, cultural and religious diversity constitutes one of the main characteristics of Lebanon's social mosaic and shapes the unifying national identity. Education and coexistence lies in developing common citizenship values that carry this cultural and religious diversity. Accordingly, this led me to introduce a development plan with citizenship education as one of its pillars by taking the following steps. The first, to approve a decree for the first time to implement social service or community service by all students in high school starting the academic year 2013-14, this academic year. And the second, introduce modern citizenship education concepts by including them in school curricula, especially in the civic education course. Accordingly, the ministry celebrated a year ago the launch of the National Charter on Religious Diversity and Inclusive Citizenship Education that shall form the basis of approaching citizenship in its different dimensions through education. Finally, I would like to say that as a citizen of the region, I have a dream of a new Middle East, that one day we will have the courage to form a democratic union among nations in the region while respecting territorial, political, and geopolitical rights similar to the EU. Ladies and gentlemen, where are the institutions and organizations that form the catalyst for all countries in the region in all sectors, including R&D, economic, education, tourism, among many others? Our region has dealt with so many missed opportunities, and it is time to change that. War is not the solution to any problem, and might is not right. On the contrary, right is might. In conclusion, I would like to reiterate that the solution to many of our regional challenges lie in three pillars: education, education, and education. Reggie Cord.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hassan Diab, for your excellent presentation. Thank you. In fact, we are going to conclude, but I have a few remarks. Over the last 2 days, I was so eager to participate in every panel and to speak, but really I reserved my right. I gave it to the student, but I have a few remarks to make.